the noble princess of the dead at last. I am your cousin Athena, and proud to welcome you to Olympus. Yet I could be prouder, as this wasn't always such a miserable place. Well met indeed, Melinoi. The wretched Titan's armies have infiltrated our most sacred grounds. On them your wrath may be well spent, especially as you rise toward the summit, where most of our family now takes refuge. Because that is precisely what our strategy requires, for they aided your arrival, did they not? Now let us go our separate ways, and may my blessing aid in your ascent. The might and fury of Olympus be with you. I shall ensure this area remains secure for now. Make your advance. Continue your ascent, as I shall keep what passes for the Titan's armies occupied. They never seem to learn, do they? But neither do they ever seem to stop. I trust that our defenses have not proven too much of a hindrance to you here. When our family stands united, there's no hardship that we cannot overcome. I've wrath to spare for all those you shall confront on your way to the summit. Make haste toward the palace, cousin, and my blessing be with you. Another victory is within reach. Go take it, and I'll cover you as you proceed. Battle rages all around us still, Melinoi. Then let us finish what our enemies began. This mountain stronghold of ours shall never fall, try as the Titan might. Climb forth, cousin, and may your foothold never falter on the way. Go quickly but with care. My father and the rest await you at the summit. I'm grateful that you're back, so that the next stage of our plan can now unfold. You're all the reinforcements we require, and I'm ever grateful that you're here. Would that we could fight together. Yet we accomplish more going our separate ways. Our foes swarm at us like insects, and we shall deal with them as such. I knew that I could count on you to be here tonight precisely at this time. Many such victories are still to come before our war is finally ended. It is not enough merely to vanquish our enemies. Let us make an example of them. The peak of Olympus awaits. Go, and I'll ensure you need not watch your back. I know you've scores to settle in the underworld, so thank you for being here. Your skill alone has brought you to this point, although perhaps I may assist. Let our enemies rue the moment they deign to stand against we gods. It is as though the moon herself directed me to your position here tonight. Our family has endured for eons. This shall pass, as does all else. All those who dare oppose us or our rightful rule shall be given no quarter. Proceed immediately to the palace and I'll cover you, Melinoi. What use is a good strategy without the necessary skill to see it through? The Titan's forces know nothing of fear, but I trust that they can still be taught. May the boon I now bestow provide a difference in the battles yet to come. The fury of Olympus! Deliverance! In the name of Zeus! In the name of Zeus! For Olympus! Be gone from here! Foolish mistake! This one is mine. This is over! This is over! Olympus smite you! More of this rabble. That's quite enough! Hold fast, cousin! Enough of this lot! That's settled. Well met. Hail, cousin. Melinoi, welcome back. There you are. Are you all right? Well fought. Short work. Beg pardon. Filthy creatures. We need to talk. At last. Conserve your strength. I'll not spar here. I haven't the time. Stand down. How humorous. Steady, cousin. Yes? When you're ready, come now. The underworld idea of a jest. Behold my power. Behold, my aegis is yours. Now choose. Your choice? What suits your strategy? How may I assist? What shall it be? Consider this. My blessings. Wise choice. Wisely decided. A sound plan. Then very well. Excellent. I see. Done. I concur. You shall have it. Go with grace. Your brother's favorite. Ah, yes. A safe choice. When in doubt, how did I know? Then make haste. Let us be off. Fight on, cousin. To the next battle. Onward, then. To greater victory. Now farewell. Back into the fray. The enemy awaits. Our family's counting on us. No mercy out there. Beware out there. Now I must go. Prometheus awaits. Typhon awaits. May you again prevail. To your continued success. A word before you go? Wait, cousin. First let us speak. I don't have all night. I'm not to be ignored. Over here. Salutations. Well met. Death or worse. Proper guidance. I plot my own course. I give the guidance here, if you insist, and deliver our enemies. We know the way. To victory. Something of value, if that is of use. Keen eye. Take what you require. Come on, cousin. Help yourself. I'm waiting. I'll wait. Truly. Whenever you're ready. Can this not wait? Certainly. Why not? We're at war, cousin. Are you quite done? A resounding success. A brilliant strategy. Extraordinary. Impressive. Thank the fates. A wasted opportunity. Unbelievable. Empty-handed. Evaded. Beware ahead. The Titan Prometheus is able to elude me knowing that I'm focused on his vanguard forces. But he'll have no choice but to confront you if you press on. He knows what is to come to some extent, yes. But he can only see outcomes, not read minds. And just because he knows you're coming doesn't mean he can stop you. Even if you're thwarted by the Titan Prometheus, it is a benefit to our war effort. For if he's having to confront you, then he's unable to cause his mayhem elsewhere. Do not concern yourself with that. His prior punishment inspired this still greater transgression, rather than remorse for his past deeds. For the moment, our strategy merely requires that he not stand in our way. I knew Prometheus prior to all this. I suppose our tendencies toward matters of the mind connected us. You know that he stole the gift of fire for mortal kind. Well, he also gave them reason, from me. Some of them, anyway. Perhaps he thinks he did, or has as much as he requires. Unfortunately, reason tends to be in lesser abundance than most would dare to admit. Cousin, is it true that you reached the heart of your father's underworld and vanquished the Titan Kronos there? His forces unexpectedly fell back, and I dared not trust my intuition as to why. Imperative victories are not small victories, yet I fully understand the impulse never to grow complacent, and always to fight on. You should know my father, your Lord Uncle Zeus, is somewhat skeptical of your ability to turn the outcome of the war here in our favor. He believes we should be able to fend for ourselves, and I don't disagree. With that, I don't disagree either. Nevertheless, our family seems incapable of standing united for long. If we could, this war never would have started. I'm yet to be convinced that these automatons we use in our defense are as dependable as can be. I've told Hephaestus I won't tolerate their quirks, nor should you. Yes, that's on a long list of requests we have for him. We'll have to decommission and repurpose any existing models for that effort anyhow. So if you destroy some here and there, it's for the best. I must apologize about your confrontation with the particularly large and dangerous automaton called Talos. It detects traces of the underworld on you, and, well, I shall be certain to relay the suggestion. Unfortunately, Lord Hephaestus prioritized a self-repairing system in Talos over threat detection, so it may continue to be an issue for now. Have you felt the growing tremors during your approach, cousin? I don't care for them at all. Lord Uncle Poseidon at first acted as though they were his doing, but not even he seems to know the source. You are a welcome sight, Melinoe, for it has been some nights since last we met upon the battlefield like this. How fares the war beneath the earth? The mountain stands, as you see, and that is what matters. Perhaps your presence and a corresponding shift in strategy shall lead us to the breakthrough that we need. You're injured, cousin, though I shouldn't be so surprised. It is a grueling climb to reach this point, and you traverse the rift of Thessaly as well. Are you all right? In war, there are no guarantees save bloodshed, as Ares surely would attest, wherever he may be rejoicing. Now let's get you back to proper fighting shape. Well, we have you, cousin. As for our other allies, we as a family are loath to beg assistance or for anything. To all our followers and compatriots, our message has been clear. We have this matter well under control. On the contrary, our automatons have quite effectively held many of our enemies at bay, and you and I can make a significant difference as well if we don't dally. Nonsense, for I'm certain that you made your journey here as quickly as you could. Well, I of course accept your offering, though shall be saving it for when our victory's achieved. This, however, you may be able to use sooner. Try as I might to consider each possibility, partaking of nectar in the midst of this conflict that we're in is quite unthinkable. Still, it's something to look forward to. Your gesture is unnecessary. Warring mortals often make me offerings in hopes that I might guide them to victory. But you and I have a shared purpose, so I require no such incentives in our case. You honor me and have my thanks. This nectar, it's been to the underworld and back, along with you. It'll take on a particularly complex flavor, I should think. At this rate, we might someday have ourselves a feast to rival one arranged by Dionysus himself. Then let us fight with all our might to bring about such an enticing possibility. How strange it is to meet you face to face. Your brother Zagreus I spoke to many times, though by boon all but once. You must know he had his struggles at home. Now it seems your side of the family is repaying us for back then. Of course, and it wasn't my intent to suggest otherwise. I'm merely reflecting on the change of circumstance. Well then, one boon deserves another. After we settled certain troubles with your brother's situation at home, your mother Persephone, she would regularly return to Olympus for part of each year. I should have trusted my instincts when one day she failed to show. You'd think. However, we knew your mother was with child, and our conclusion was that your new family wanted privacy. So we waited patiently, not realizing it as Kronos gained his foothold. A grave miscalculation on my part. Yet if I'm to be the strategist upon Olympus, then I have to consider each possibility, however unlikely, that can threaten our peace. At any rate, a lesson harshly learned. The three fates themselves are gone, Hermes has said. Our situation grows that much more desperate then. And yet, I never could depend on outside influence in my success. I trust you take no offense. We shall. For the goal of any strategy is to leave as little as possible to chance. We count only on those who prove themselves dependable, and above all, ourselves. So Artemis discovered you within the mists of Erebus, under the tutelage of Hecate. Quite the tale. Would you care to elaborate? Very well. I was never under the delusion that our side of the family and yours kept no secrets from each other. Likely it's for the best. But my position does require a certain thoroughness and curiosity, you understand. All of this warfare leaves us time for little else. I used to weave, you know. Great tapestries and more. May I have opportunity to take it up again once all this is behind us. And you, what else has occupied your time? I'm familiar with witchcraft, yes. Though that all sounds like preparation for the matter you're now seeking to resolve. But I do realize it's not the time for flights of fancy, or even the discussion thereof. My understanding was that your brother suffered from a certain ailment that inhibited his vitality if ever he attempted to venture out of the underworld. Yet you apparently have no such limitation. What can I say? You hide your troubles well, Melinoe. So yours is a race against time in more ways than one. I won't delay you any further then. I must say, cousin, I've not seen such unity from our family in some time. Almost everybody stands together now against our foes, though Dionysus. Probably he's lying somewhere in a stupor. Oh, he does. Why should he callous his hands when he could laze about feasting? He's fortunate I've more important matters to consider than locating him. My half-brother Ares must be having the time of his life wherever he resides. He relishes a good protracted war. Why would he work with us to put an end to it? The thought has certainly occurred to me, except our enemy is no more interested in a war that lasts forever than we are, whereas Ares wants only for the war to perpetuate, not for a victor to emerge. From what I know of strife, she's not prone to alliances, yet I cannot rule out the possibility. She's been impeding you along your route. Perhaps you'll let slip some detail. You bear the amulet I gave to you. May it protect you and strike fear into the hearts of your enemies whenever I am not around to do the same. Oh, not exactly, no. More of a cautionary reminder about what happens when we gods are openly defied. Don't lose your head out there, cousin. This night is darker than so many others of late, and our foes appear emboldened. Some new trick of Kronos, or perhaps merely my imagination from fighting for so long. Such assurances mean little to me typically, cousin. But you know more about the darkness than I do. If this truly is the will of night, and not the work of our enemy, then good. The moon herself assists you, that I know. We often underestimate her here, believing all she does is faintly light the sky. But I know there is more to her than that. Nyx's will is none of my concern, cousin. But apparently it's yours. And Nyx has likewise been an ally to Olympus in the past. If you trust Selene's involvement, that is enough. I seldom forget anything, cousin. Especially not insolent mortals who see themselves as equals to the gods, though she is not exactly mortal anymore. What of her? So many mortals grovel to me all the time, but goddesses, and on behalf of mortals far too prideful to grovel for themselves? Cousin, do not waste my time with this. The mortal woman called Arachne. Have you any idea what she did? She fancied herself the greatest weaver in the world, superior even to me, if not the fates themselves. Is it not our obligation, then, to remind mortals of their place? Has she now? In my experience, mortals can be very slow to learn, and she was not punished as a lesson to her, but as a lesson to everyone else. I do not go back on my decisions, Melinoe, for I don't make them lightly. You got me thinking about mortal kind of late. I too have taken a personal interest in mortals and their plights many times, especially in those who rise above their station. And I wish to honor their worship of the other gods and me. Yes, for they outnumber us greatly, and many grow resourceful and independent. Some do not think they need us, but they do, both in life and in death, as your father would attest. Best not become too attached to any of them. There's some strange spell at work on you, for you seem different than before, much more substantial. Whether a blessing or a curse, I can't immediately say. There's some strange spell at work on you, for you seem different than before. Have you shrunk down, cousin? Whether a blessing or a curse, I can't immediately say. Oh, her I do recall. She once created quite the predicament for a mortal seafarer whom I intended to protect, no one I think you'd know. I'd watch myself with her. You appear different than before. Another one of the Enchantress Circe's unconventional blessings, then. Are you certain that she's aiding you, not ridiculing you? Never use her magic for ridicule. That doesn't sound much like the Circe I recall. Perhaps she's learned to behave herself, though I am not convinced. You bear the arms of Night. I suspected it when we first met, but now my doubt is gone. Should the underworld be imperiled, those weapons are to be the last resort, fine. But they seem well outside their jurisdiction here. Make certain that you keep their power well in check, as well as their hunger. I much prefer my weapons not to have intentions of their own, but can't deny their potency. You've seen what plagues us at the summit, haven't you? The source of all the tremors. Almost as though the mountain itself quakes with fear. We need a plan. Tales of valor and deeds of valor are not always one and the same. Then let us lure this Typhon toward the summit, where our strength combined with yours is the best opportunity we have. And please, take care, cousin. Thank the fates that you eluded Typhon's fury, and you created enough of a diversion that we were able to fortify our defenses and keep that monstrosity at bay for now. A being of that size will not have many weaknesses, although no creature likes to be jabbed in the eyes, and Typhon has a great many of them, for better or worse. And if we muster all our powers, perhaps we can drive him back. We were able to repel that monstrous Typhon thanks to your aid, so it can be done. Only the contemptible thing soon recovered and commenced his climb once more. The so-called father of all monsters. I heard the tales many times, of course, but seeing him, I felt my courage almost falter, which was more frightening even than the thing itself. That Typhon seems only to grow angrier each time we withstand his rage. A clever ploy for Kronos to set such a thing on us, keeping us occupied while he plots his next move. Perhaps Kronos means to seal the monster away once we are no longer a threat. At any rate, we don't intend to let any such outcome transpire. You have impressed not only me, but all our kin. Most of them, I should say. And for that, I bestow my greatest power. May it soon bring about still greater victories. You have perhaps encountered mighty Heracles along your route. He has surpassing strength and capability, but do report to me any suspicious actions on his part. Consorting with our foes, defying our will, anything of that sort. I have no real reason not to trust him, yet I've come to trust you more. First, you vanquished Kronos in your father's realm, then in turn you toppled Typhon from our mountain's heights. I must admit, I underestimated you when first we met. You trained with Hecate to vanquish Kronos, that I know. But Typhon was never part of your practice routine. Yet I, too, dislike compliments, especially when, to your point, our war is not yet won. My stepmother Queen Hera's favor isn't easily earned. You should know it's she who first desired your assistance here. You have more than her boon, but her faith, fragile as it is. Perhaps it's that you represent a different course of action than the one we'd previously decided on, which came directly from my father, your Lord Uncle Zeus. None of us like to be wrong about anything, but we like victory more. You'd think being surrounded by family would mean being surrounded by like-minded folk, except not many on Olympus think as I do. None, I dare say. Yet you, well, one difference is, I'd never deign give nectar at a time like this. Let it be said that we are goddesses of action, not words, and I accept your thoughtful, if oddly timed, offering. Though, let this be the last until our foes all lie in ruin. So Ares has decided to participate in our family activities, after all, ever willing to compromise. For if one everlasting war cannot be had, he'd settle for an outcome that ensures more wars are still to come. Be careful with that line of thought, cousin. Compromising to achieve consensus is one thing, but compromising on beliefs or principles, on ideals, such reasoning is how wars often start, not merely end. Cousin, after much consideration, I admit the best plan that I have for stopping Typhon at this point is to rely on you. The next best alternative available would be most dire. It is. My energies, as you can see, are focused on repelling our enemy's forces here. But it seems I shall also have to dissuade my father from taking a catastrophic course, if but to buy you time. I'm counting on you. We all are. I have been called a savior many times, and take some pleasure in overturning near-hopeless situations. But recently, it was my own hope that faltered, until you restored it. The father of all monsters is truly gone. You chthonic gods in your modesty. Be proud, cousin. You have achieved a glorious result, for which we all are thankful. I knew I had to trust you, but I also felt I should. I need no reminders of our victories. nor shall your generosity be forgotten during or after the restoration that inevitably is to come. What would we have done if not for you? So adept at deflecting compliments even without my boon. Then very well. Better to be modest than a braggart, I suppose. But you might aspire to be somewhere in between. Either that, or we should all be more like you. Your thoughts about Arachne are causing you distraction, which in turn is causing me distraction now. I would propose a means by which we could put this matter with her to rest. And so you need for me to let it lapse. And while you cannot compel me, perhaps Arachne can, if she is now as different as you say. You know my Gorgon amulet. Ask if she would speak with me through it. If so, I may make an appearance. Hail, Melinoe. Ah, these woods. And sure enough, there's the world's most talented weaver herself. Still plying your trade, Arachne? Fully occupied. I cannot remain for long, for that reason and more, so what is it? You've grown tired of your form? Anything? Then I've a simple enough request. Apologize for what you did in all sincerity, and tell me what you've learned. I caution you to measure your words with care, Spider. I did not travel all this way to be the object of your ridicule. I suppose you think this outburst moved me in some way, and that I'll now grant your desire. No, you may appear worse off, but you clearly haven't changed at all, Arachne. Fine, I'll take my leave, and we shall never see each other again. Enjoy the feast of flies. Melinoe, this was a mistake. I am less surprised by the outcome, but then I knew Arachne from before. Perhaps she did mean to apologize, until the moment she saw me again, and all her scorn came rushing back. Nonetheless, what's done is done. Losing to some mortal was a humiliation I did not anticipate, yet it was Arachne's arrogance that sparked my wrath, rather than any envy I had for her considerable talent. She had the nerve to call my work pedestrian. This last time she did know, yet she insulted me again. We do not expect much from mortals, merely penitence. For those such as Arachne, the best we can do is make examples of them. Now I shall spare her not another word. These must be the dark woods of Erebus, somewhere near your base of operations. I can see why they left such an impression on Artemis. It's certainly a change from Mount Olympus. But I'm not here to survey the terrain, so quickly choose. The depths of Oceanus. I have often soared or sailed over these waters, but not often seen them from within. So this is how you circumvent Elysium. Such base creatures have little capacity for fear, but we shall teach them of it what we can. These fields of morning have some similarity to sprawling plains upon the surface, but the air hangs very heavy here, and I wouldn't advise getting run through by my spear, yet at times it must be done. May your journey through this place take not a moment longer than it must. All this gold! What has become of Tartarus? The Titan Kronos rendered it almost entirely unrecognizable. Oh, would that I could and the amulet were even stronger. But all strategies have limitations. My blessing rather than my presence shall have to do as you approach your goal. Well, at least it isn't snowing here. I thought such devastation would be concentrated on Olympus, but it is spread all the way to Athena. Ransacking requires no premeditation or strategic purpose, and the result of it is clear. But what I fail to see is how this helps persuade mortals to side with Titans over us. This sailing vessel's rotting deck. We are amid the Titan's fleet and Lord Uncle Poseidon's rift. You use such means to reach our mountain every night. I laud your ingenuity. You or whoever plotted such a course that turns the enemy's advance to an advantage. Such horrors have befallen our proud summit. This is intolerable. I ask myself how I might have prevented it. But we can always do more, even if those mindless machines cannot. We could have done more. For now, though, we had best focus on the resolution, not the cause. So then it's true what Kronos said. These possibilities that Typhon could have remained. Or perhaps the Gorgon amulet is letting me share your hallucinations now. Then that is what we shall do. There is no reason to change strategies as long as they keep yielding good results. I've something here for you, cousin. Seeing as you remain instrumental to our mountain's ongoing defense, perhaps because it's more than the earth living and breathing. Our enemy is behind this, I am certain of it. We have achieved a monumental victory, cousin. Although the annihilation of one's enemies can be a serviceable outcome in war, surrender often is preferred. I trust the others have expressed their gratitude. Abandon that regret, for the rabble that still plagues Olympus is nothing. As for Prometheus, though I am skeptical about his role in this new strategy, I have persuaded Father to go along with it for now. Now you are to confront these traces of our great foes, both at the summit and in Tartarus, recreating the path that got you there, as though the possibilities need to align. There ought to be very few such outcomes then, for we do not fail, merely take the necessary time to succeed. I had considered how we would proceed if by some chance the three fates were never found. What I did not anticipate was that they would be found, yet still take leave of their responsibilities, so I am told. A prophecy about another age, that we gods shall relinquish our dominion to mortals. It's difficult to believe. But then these things never unfold precisely as they sound. They are weavers, whose tapestries reveal the vast and complicated tale of history. Perhaps they seek merely to entertain, and we are but characters they have to work with. So many battles have been fought, and many yet remain. But we goddesses are tireless. You can count on me for as long as you choose to press on. A proper strategy requires taking every reasonable precaution, but can also be adapted should the need arise. Let us account for as many possibilities as we see fit, but never to the detriment of other matters of concern. My father's palace is now closed for retrofitting, probably much like what's underway in your father's realm, leaving you with nowhere to rest after a hard night's work. You fight as though you're unencumbered, but I know the surface weighs on you. It is impressive how you've learned to suppress this fate-wrought weakness in your blood.